he has this other example of the billiard balls, which is a kind of famous vignette in the history of philosophy. How do we know that if we hit a billiard ball at a certain angle and it travels for a certain distance in a certain direction, how do we know that if we hit it at the same angle tomorrow, then exactly the same impact won't result in it transforming into 6 hermit crabs that are suspended in mid-air and then explode? How do we know that the laws of nature are going to be the same tomorrow as they are today? Since there's a disjunction between what we've experienced so far and our imagination, that it's not hard to imagine that these things could change. We can imagine any number of bizarre things that might happen when one billiard ball hits another. So how do we know that things will continue as expected? And Hume says we can't be sure on the basis of experience, because we've just got the experience that we've had so far, and that's not really a basis for anything. But equally, reason doesn't help us, because try as we might, there doesn't seem to be any watertight rational argument why the laws of nature must stay the same. So Hume's conclusion, as we've said, was we have to shift the locus of philosophical inquiry from an attempt to use rationality to account for the laws of nature into an inquiry into how human experience generates the notion of laws. So it becomes a psychological problem. And Hume's response to this is that it's to do with habit and repetition. We believe in laws because we see things repeated. And then we gain the notion of laws. Repeated, consistent experiences generate expectations. And that's the source of the laws of nature. They're artifacts of the constitution of the human understanding, not something that can be identified rationally. And you can see how this feeds into what Kant will do later. Yeah.
Is there a difference between that it has to be this every time in the future, or that you can say that this was why it happened?